How you do anything is how you do everything. This quote is about Glenn Greenwald. I'm Joshua Lisec. This is Daily Persuasion. I am the New York Times bestselling author and co-author, ghostwriter of almost 100 books. Now I'm finishing up number 100 that I've ghostwritten, nonfiction books. And I'm also a certified hypnotist. Through this unique stack of experiences, I teach you how to better influence the VIPs of your life and your career. You might be familiar that the independent journalist Glenn Greenwald has become a favorite of the conservative right, despite his known situation. A leaked video recently came about, and you can probably imagine the type of, shall we say, illicit interracial homosexual kink that was present in the video. I need not go into depth on that, as this is a family show. That said, it has been fascinating to see so many conservative Christians defending him over this. There's this video that comes out that this individual is, let's say, into degradation and humiliation kink. And it's so interesting to see, particularly now that it's June and it's Pride Month being celebrated nationwide. We're seeing, just over the last 24 to 72 hours, conservative Christian after conservative Christian after conservative Christian coming out talking about how, no, that's his private life. It doesn't matter. It doesn't count. They're just trying to cancel him, get rid of cancel culture. And of course, he insists, Glenn Greenwald has himself said in a statement, something to the effect of having nothing to apologize for. He's not ashamed and there's nothing to regret, blah, 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 blah. He'd do it again. Okay, maybe not with the leaked video. Now, Adam Townsend, who is a friend of mine, he's one of the uniquely credible voices on all things the vid, going back to the very end of 2019, 2020. He called it like nobody else called it in real time. It was incredible to observe. Adam is uniquely credible. And of course, Adam has been pointing out that Glenn Greenwald was for draconian measures during that time, loudly and, shall we say, proudly. He has also, Glenn Greenwald, been against a number of populist and nationalist movements around the world that conservative Christians have now aligned themselves with. People talk about how the Trump supporter world, also known as Trump world, MAGA, you might want to call it whatever you want to call it, is a big tent. And there's now a realization that maybe the tent is a little bit too big. Can we say that Republicans are the parent party, the party of families, the party of fertility, and that capital is then expended, it's spent down, it's not even invested, it's spent on defending interracial homosexual kink, humiliation, degradation, transvestitism, cross-dressing. And there's also Palestinian support involved in these activities, as the leaked video has entailed. Now, fortunately, I did not watch the video, but the screenshots are unavoidable. And I would like to teach you how you can use this to predict the future. Would you like to learn how to predict the future? I think you would. Now, the first thing is that you have to understand the way that the left and the right are in this culture. The reason I'm not a conservative is conservatives conserve. What do conservatives conserve? Conservative conserve liberals, liberal values, which are anti-right-wing, in many cases anti-Christian values. They're pro-secular, which is a sort of a new state religion. And the point of a conservative is to ultimately become a liberal, but slower. And we see this with, go back to 2008, the 2008 Democratic primary campaign. Okay, you've got Barack Obama, you've got Hillary Clinton, you've got others who are vying for that year's title, shall we say, a Democratic presidential candidate. And also going back to 2007. If you watch those videos, when it comes to defense of marriage, wow, those are the days. And let's say immigration, illegal immigration, issues with China, what do you observe? You observe that the populist and the nationalist rhetoric of the Democrats in 2007, 2008 is indistinguishable from the 2024 campaign rhetoric and even policies of President Donald J. Trump. Conservatives are liberals, only slower. What we're observing now, I fear, is something similar, where behavior that might rightly be considered shameful has been normalized. I want you to think about something for a moment. How you do anything is how you do everything. Does someone who gets off on being sexually humiliated, does that part of themselves disappear when they come out to the public and do their work? No, I don't think it does. I don't think it does. It is known that left-wing fetishes and kinks are associated with cuckoldry, humiliation, so on and so forth. And so when we see left-wing leaders around the world, what are they doing with their policies? Exactly. What are the right-wing, let's say, sexual fantasies? It's always threesomes for men with multiple women. Every single time. It's not even close. And by the way, right-wing women also have a particular, and also left-wing women have a particular fetish, kink, and of course we know what happened in 2009 and beyond with 50 Shades of Grey. Anyone? Best-selling novel of all time, basically. So we know. Now, if you take that, because people will say, oh, Joshua, you're judging. What I want you to understand is how one does anything is how one does everything. If someone wants to import infinity illegal immigrants from the third world to replace their own kind, what do you think their fetish is going to be? Interracial cuckoldry, 100% of the time. If you look at left-wing leaders, this is who they are. Who they are in the bedroom is who they are in the boardroom, in the White House, in Congress, everywhere. You are who you are everywhere. And men who, which would be most men, I think, particularly on the right and conservatives, those who have high testosterone. What is that line from Office Space? 2 chicks at the same time. If you look at right-wing powerful men, what do they do in public? They attract lots of women. You can predict the future scandals by who someone is in public and vice versa. Now, I'm not going to come out and condemn someone for being gay. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to condemn someone for having threesomes. What I want you to understand is that if someone is really loudly condemning something in this regard, they struggle with that secretly. It's the Ted Haggard principle, if you understand that. So when someone comes out and they're like, you seem to be really unusually passionate about this or that issue, or you're engaging in a destructive policy, or you're attracting this type of energy or attention, you realize that that's who they are in every part of their lives. And this is generally not okay to talk about in public. But I think we need to. Because who you are in bed is who you are out in the public. That person doesn't go away. That person doesn't change. And if we want to understand the future of all things, we have to understand the present. And this slide is going to continue. There's more and more normalizing of various sexual behaviors and practices until roughly 10 years from now, polygyny specifically, is going to be legalized by the Supreme Court following the precedent of Obergefell. Love is love, right? We're not harming anyone, me and my wives. That's the future. You can predict it. That's Daily Persuasion.